There are three main ways to start cosplaying, from ordering pre-made cosplays to thrifting and maybe kind of crafting a little bit of your own stuff to making your own full-blown outfit. I'm going to be breaking these down for you, and timestamps will be linked in the description in case you want to kind of skip around and you only are interested in one section of the video. Pre-made cosplays are perfect for if you don't really have a lot of time to make your own, or you don't really have a lot of energy to do it, you're not really sure how, or you're just getting started. There's literally no shame in doing pre-made cosplays. The first thing that you're going to need to do is research the cosplay itself. Stuff like anime and video games and cartoons are really easy to find cosplays for, but stuff that's more foam armor, such as World of Warcraft, Skyrim, those are going to be a lot more difficult, and you're probably going to have to pay a lot more money to get something like that, whereas fabric cosplays tend to be a lot easier to get a hold of. Figure out websites and companies that sell the cosplay that you're interested in and start researching those. Mint Costume's a really good company. They don't always have everything, but they do have a very large selection. They're constantly adding more. They're adding more items. They're adding more sizes. They're adding new types of items, which is really cool. They have pretty good feedback. I would say whenever I've had to contact them in the past through the website, they're always really quick to get back with me. I've purchased a couple of cosplays from them, and I reuse a ton of elements from these cosplays like non-stop. They also stock some of their outfits through Amazon, so if you don't really want to have to wait to get it all the way from China, or it's cheaper for you to get it through Amazon, then they do have that available there as well. One pre-made company to look out for is Easy Cosplay. Way back in the day when I started cosplaying, which was like over 10 years ago, they were actually a pretty good company. They had really good ratings. They were like one of the only really well-known cosplay companies out there. But between then and now, their quality and their customer service has gone downhill. They're really notorious for like not sending you the cosplay, or sending you a cosplay that's incorrect and then trying to swindle you out of your money and make you pay for a whole new one to get sent. The workmanship tends to be really shoddy. It's just honestly a whole mess. I do not recommend whatsoever, and their prices tend to be pretty high. If your measurements don't fit the mass manufactured cosplay sizes, because they're like very specific rigid sizes and stuff, or there's a cosplay you really want that is a fabric cosplay that you just can't find anywhere, Etsy is going to be the best place for you to go. You can find a bunch of really nice pre-made and custom-made cosplays on there. The prices will be more expensive than someplace like Mint Costumes that is mass-produced, but you can find a lot of really nice pre-made and custom cosplays on there. A lot of people are willing to really work with you for whatever you want. The prices will be higher because of that though, because this is an outfit that's being made for you specifically, whereas stuff that's mass-produced, it's being purchased a lot more, so the companies can afford to lower the prices a bunch. So just kind of keep that in mind. But I can guarantee if you find a good company on there with good ratings on Etsy, you're going to get an amazingly made outfit that's tailored exactly how you want it, to your size, really good quality materials and stuff like that. Two shops that I really recommend that are on Etsy are SheCos and FD Cosplay. They're really good companies that I've purchased from. They have great ratings. They were super fast to get back to me whenever I had any questions. They shipped their items insanely quickly, and I got them in like literally 2 weeks, I think, after they shipped. So I really recommend them. The quality was really good. If you're looking for custom, there's Talitha Isabel Costume, who is on Etsy, and she is also, I believe, on Instagram. I'll link her down below in the description, but she does entirely custom designs to your specification of whatever you need. Once you've picked out your outfit, you need to figure out if it has props and accessories. This is where it can get a little bit sticky with pre-made cosplays, because most companies do not include any major props and accessories with the outfit. All you get is the outfit, so that would mean also that you wouldn't get stuff like shoes, wigs, and stuff like that. If they do include the wig or the shoes in the outfit, most of the time that's the lowest quality part of the outfit itself, and I would recommend not purchasing them and either getting the wig and the shoes separately, or like wearing shoes from your closet, as long as they kind of match the outfit. For accessories, you can make your own using either insulation foam, EVA, or craft foam, or you can try and 3D print it. A lot of people also on Etsy just sell 3D printed accessories raw, so you just purchase the raw 3D print, and then you have to like sand it, prime it, and paint it all yourself, but it means that you don't have to try and make it yourself. The same goes for props. For the wig, you can purchase sometimes a semi-pre-styled one off Amazon or mass manufactured sites, but if you want to get super fancy, you can get something like a lace front wig from Arta, Amazon, or Wig is Fashion, and try and style it yourself. It is a little bit harder, and it can be a little bit scary because these wigs are very pricey. So just kind of figure out what your budget is, and don't pressure yourself to try and have the perfect outfit from the beginning, especially if you're just starting out. There's literally no pressure. I promise. There's no pressure. So just figure out what you can afford and what you're comfortable with and go from there. I just made a whole video that's on thrifting cosplays, so I won't go into the whole thing quite as much in detail here, but I will give a brief summary. Thrifting and closet cosplays are best if you're not going for a 100% accurate version of your outfit, but they're really, really fun because you have a lot more freedom with how you want the outfit to look. For thrifting, you just need to have a lot of patience, especially if you're looking for very specific things. One thing with thrifting is that never, ever, ever try and thrift a cosplay on a time crunch. It's not going to work. Don't do it. It's not worth the stress. Closet cosplaying is a blast and it goes hand in hand with thrifting. It works really well if you have a variety of clothes in your closet or that you found at a thrift store that you can just use by either draping or wearing or just finding new ways to use it so that you can make it look vaguely like a character that you really like. As long as you have the vibe of the character down, most people are going to be able to recognize who it is. Photo editing helps a lot with this too because you can change the colors of stuff in order to make it more accurate to what the character would have worn. There's like this whole misconception that if you sew your own clothes, you're saving money, and that is so not true, like at all. Sewing is expensive, foam crafting is expensive, so just kind of know going into it that it can rack up a lot of money. Figure out first what you're trying to make. Is it fabric or is it foam? Is it a combination of the two? And then from there, you're going to have to figure out what materials and equipment you're going to need to make that. If you're sewing, what kind of sewing supplies do you need that you don't already have? What kind of patterns are you going to need? Do you have a sewing machine or not? These kind of things are really important to keep in mind when you start on this kind of stuff. As for EVA, you're going to need a lot of equipment in order to be able to use foam, such as a heat gun. You can't use a blow dryer. You have to have a heat gun because it gets a lot hotter. You need either contact cement or hot glue. You need a Dremel. You need to be able to paint it and prime it. You need to be able to attach the stuff to yourself. How are you going to do that? What kind of straps are you going to use? Are you going to use Velcro or not? Making your own cosplay can be very rewarding and so much fun, but the initial investment can be a lot. So there are a couple of loopholes that you can jump through with foam that make it a little bit cheaper. So such as with the glue, instead of contact cement, you can use hot glue. You just have to be a little bit more careful with it. If you can't afford acrylic or resin sealer, you can use Mod Podge, but it does make your stuff start cracking over time a lot more than it would with resin or acrylic. Start with what's manageable for you. And then after you have a cosplay or two under your belt, figure out if you need to upgrade. If by that point you realize that it's maybe not your kind of thing to be able to make your own cosplay, then don't invest any more in it. But if you think, wow, this is a really fun hobby, look into what you think you could upgrade on. If it's getting a better Dremel or if it's getting a new kind of heat gun. Look for tutorials online for either the cosplay you want to make or something that looks really similar. It'll help you not feel so intimidated by trying to just make your own cosplay. Also try and find people who do pre-made patterns. I know a lot of people talk about how easy it is to make patterns. I personally find it super difficult, mainly because I have to do it all on my own. And so if you're alone trying to make your own patterns, it can be kind of hard and it's not always the best way to like get really clean patterns. If you can, try and find someone who already has some that you know is reputable and that you know has like really good clean patterns that you can use. Your first cosplay isn't going to be great, I promise, but if you don't do that first cosplay, then you're never going to get to that cosplay years down the road that's going to be amazing. That first cosplay, it may not be the best, but you're going to be proud of it, and that's what matters most. I hope this cosplay breakdown was helpful. If you have any questions, as usual, leave them down below in the comments. I will be linking all the different companies that I talked about in the description below, except for Easy Cosplay, because I really don't want to encourage you to go shop there. It's so bad. But the other ones I will be linking down below, so if you kind of want to look into them and see what they have and stuff, they'll be there if you need them. If you're interested in more tutorials, I do have them up on my Patreon. I also do stuff like work in progress photos and patterns, and I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you all next time.